Okay. Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to another episode of the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast with Jim Edwards and
Stu Smith.
One of these days I got to figure out which side you're on. So there you go.
All right, put up a finger. That's the side I'm on.
Okay.
At least to my TV.
Okay. On your TV.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Your monitor on the tube. Are you upset that Chick-fil-A is not paying you to endorse their product, and that's why you're hiding that cup inside of another cup? Or
that's true. My unsweet tea from Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
All gone.
So what are we talking about today, Stu?
All right, so we're answering questions.
Okay.
Richard McMillan asked a question recently.
Okay.
And he's basically a novice with a lot of great ideas. So, and that's what happens. You know, like we talked in a previous podcast, we get motivated and sometimes we just bite off way too much to chew at first.
Yes.
Right? Because like in the diet world or the fitness world, people will, start a diet, quit drinking, quit smoking, start exercising, join a gym. They put all of that into 1 week and they wonder why the term New Year's resolution is finished by mid-April or
by
mid-January.
January. You're talking about January 2nd, they're drunk after having smoked an entire pack of cigarettes, after having cleaned out the refrigerator into their stomach, after having fought with their wife, after having not gone for the walk they said they were going to do, and they lit the tree on fire from the last cigarette butt that fell out of their fingers as they passed out under the tree. So the reason that they do that is because, like you say, they're trying to do too much at once. And that's what most people try and do when they go, oh, I'm going to start an online business. I'm going to be a millionaire by the 31st of January.
Yeah.
And that does not happen. So what is Richard's question?
All right. So the amount of features in the software and way it sets up content for you is awesome.
Which software?
But I'm a greenhorn. What's that?
Is he talking about funnel scripts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But I am a greenhorn. I
Okay.
start my first OFA challenge next week. I'm about 14 funnels in my head or ideas of funnels with offers written down and about 5 projects started in funnel scripts.
Okay.
I'm just not sure which script is best for the niche funnel I'm working on. So right out of the gate, I'm getting myself stuck in a web, because I'm trying to do too many things and learn too many things at once. But once the ability to type in a particular niche and tell it tell you the best type of strategy or type of script for that particular type of niche. So that's trying to figure out where's he just need to start. Okay.
So you got to give me 1 second. I have to go. I have too many things on my other whiteboards that I haven't. I got a spare whiteboard I'm going to grab. Give me
I
one.
can fill in the space for you. All right. So my first thing, Jim and gang, is I would first make a list of all of your projects you want to do.
I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we're going to do this because I got to explain what is actually going on here.
Hang on, Jim. While you're cleaning up, I have 3 little helpful things for him.
Okay.
Organize his thoughts.
Okay.
Right. So make a list of all your projects that you want to do, right? On one piece of paper. You got to look at it. You got to read it. You got to see it, all these things. Prioritize level of importance and then start with just one for today. That's it. Pick one, level of importance, make a list. Right? Then we can go, and Jim's going to break it all down for us in better detail.
Okay. So here's the thing. Here's what you got to understand. When it comes to selling something, especially selling something for the first time, there are so many things that go into actually selling something that what I love about what Russell teaches with hook, story, offer is that is easy to understand on a simple level, but it's also really, really, really deep when you start understanding what's going on and why this hook, story, offer is so critical for you to basically to roll with hook, story, offers, how you're going to make this work. And so I've got some other things that I wrote on here that are important to understand when you're trying to figure out what it is that you're going to sell. What a lot of people do, and this is really sad that this is why I have my other things set up so you can see what's going on. When you're trying to sell, people have certain questions when they're looking at your offer. And it's like, who are you? Why should I listen to you? And what exactly do you have to offer? One of the things that I tell people to always think about is, what problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? And how do you solve that problem? And then there are a couple other questions that go with that, which are basically, what makes your solution unique? And where's your traffic or audience going to come from? That's kind of the next level down from that. So the who is you and really your life. And when you sell something, people are basically buying you. They're buying the result that you promise, or they believe that you can deliver on the promise that you're making. So the who is you, your life. Then the why is your experience. It can be your experience. It can be your education. It can be your job experience. It can be your life experience. And this is where we get the justification of why they should listen to you. Okay. From the standpoint of, and I'll use an example of from my for sale by owner thing. So if I forget what I'm saying, Stu, remind me, tell the for sale by owner story.
Okay.
And then the third part of this in our Venn diagram, Stu and I are geeking out on Venn diagrams lately. And it's what the market wants. So it's you, it's your experience, it's what the market wants. This is going to dictate what you sell, what the market wants. It's not what you want to sell. It's not what you think would be cool to sell. It's you sell what the market wants. But what you got to do is have an intersection of your life and who you are. It makes sense based on your experience that you're selling what the market wants. So this ties in with the hook, story, offer. My very first product that I sold online was, and I still sell it, it's a for sale by owner product. And the for sale by owner product is basically how to sell your home yourself and avoid paying the commission. It's a book I wrote called Selling Your Home Alone. Now you think about who you are. Okay, Jim Edwards. I was a real estate agent and also a mortgage broker. I also had 2 houses that I needed to sell in order to move to Florida and take a job that I wanted to take. I had to sell 2 houses within 60 days. And by the way, I had just gotten married. So I had all this stuff going against me. And what the market wants is to save the commission. They don't want to pay $12,369 to a real estate agent. They don't want to pay $18,497 to a real estate agent. They look at it like it's a tax. Now, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that's how people look at it. So what's the hook? The hook was how to save $12,963,000 in real estate commission by selling your house in a single weekend. What's the story? Hey, my name's Jim Edwards. I was a former mortgage broker and a former realtor, and I needed to sell 2 houses myself, and one of them I didn't want to pay the commission. The other one I couldn't afford to pay the commission. And by the way, I just gotten married, needed to sell my house in both houses in less than 60 days so I could take a job and fulfill the promise that I made to my wife. my new wife. So here's the offer. I'm going to show you exactly how to get your home sold in a weekend. I'm going to show you exactly how to get realtors. I'm going to get realtors to actually bring you a buyer. I'm going to show you how to have mortgage brokers and attorneys working for you for free to help you get to closing. I'm going to show you which forms you need in order to get this done. I'm going to show you what kind of ads to run and where to run them to get buyers to show up. I'm going to show you how to leverage other houses for sale in your neighborhood. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on, but great hook, great story, great offer, and it was congruent. I wasn't trying to sell something that wasn't me. It's not like I'm going to say, you know, hey, my name's Jim Edwards, and I'm going to sell you a course on how to become a Navy SEAL. You know why that doesn't work? The market wants it, but what don't I have? I don't have a story, and I don't have any experience. So if we look at Stu, why does Stu's stuff work? Okay, his life experience, he was a future frogman at age 8, he even has a picture. His experience, he went to the United States Naval Academy. He actually became a SEAL. He trained future SEALs, and for the last 25 years has been training Navy SEALs, guys that want to go and become Navy SEALs. So the market wants to know, what are the workouts to become a Navy SEAL, but also what are the workouts to become an FBI agent, become a Green Beret, to pass airborne school, to make through air assault school, to become a SWIC, to, you know, all these different things. But his life, his experience, and if you look at where these intersect, all right, your life and your experience is where your story comes from. Your experience and what the market wants, this is where the problems that you know how to solve and desires that you know how to satisfy, that's where those come from. And if you look at your life and you look at what the market wants, this is where your wisdom comes from. All right? So this is how we have a totally congruent funnel. So Richard, what you need to do is not look at this from the standpoint of how can I make money, because money is a byproduct of serving others by solving their problems or satisfying their desires. But what you need to do is start asking yourself and making a huge, big, long ass list of questions or things. What problems do I know how to solve? Now, it could be, again, mine, I focused initially on real estate, and then as I learned the things I needed to learn or I needed to know in order to sell my real estate course, my mortgage course, my typing course, other things that I did, I gained all this knowledge that people ended up coming to me and like, hey, how are you selling these books? How are you publishing these videos? How are you doing this screen capture stuff? And so I taught that, but I didn't teach that stuff until I'd actually been doing it. So the point here is that you need to make a list of all the problems that you need to know how to, that you know how to solve. You don't necessarily have to tie them into a specific area like a past career. It may be that you figured out, you can look in, if you're looking at your life and your experience, what are some things in your life, okay? Your past things that you've done, things that you've accomplished, things that you've, just that's kind of the background. But your experience, this red pen needs to be replaced. But if we look at, okay, we got job, we got education, we've got hobbies, we've got just life and stuff you've figured out. If we look at that, job, education, hobbies, life, all of a sudden, that's a whole big world that you have justification. You know what? I went to school for 12 years to figure this stuff out, and you should listen to me. Or, you know what? For 4 years, I was the guy at the Naval Academy who taught Fat Boy PT and taught all the kids who were wanting to go to be a Navy SEAL. So I know how to help everybody on the spectrum go from where they are to where they need to be, depending on their objectives. Hobbies. You know what? I worked at this, But actually, in all my spare time for the last 10 years, I've been screwing around with remote control planes and drones and other stuff like that. And I can teach you how to pilot one of those things through a keyhole. And you know, same thing with guns. I mean, I know a lot about guns now because I spent a lot of money getting a lot of people who knew a lot more than me about guns to train me. So when I have that experience and that story, actually would make sense for me to come out with some sort of a gun product at this point. I'm not gonna, but I could. So these are the areas that you got to look at because this paints the big picture. So it may not be that you know, it's not something you did for 10 years. There might be something you figure out how to do for a group of people that maybe you figured out on Facebook, maybe you figured it out on Instagram, maybe you figured it out at Hobby Lobby, that you just figured out how to help people what the market wants. They either want problem solved, desire satisfied. You figured it out. Here's how you figured it out and why people should believe you. And here's the background of who you are. And it just creates this whole thing that makes it so people can say to themselves, you know what? It makes sense that this person is selling this. It makes sense that they can help me get the result that I want. Their story is congruent. The results that they get are the same results that I want. So yes, and their offer stack is amazing. So yes, I'll take a chance and buy this from them. Does all of that make sense, Stu?
Yes, absolutely. While you were getting your stuff ready, I told them there's 3 things he really needs to do.
Okay.
You nailed it down a little bit more. I said you need to make a list of all your projects that you want to do, but something you added in there too was, you know, make a list of all the problems that you solve.
Yep.
Right. AK projects that you want to do. I think those should be intertwined, like you said. Prioritize level of importance and start with just one today.
Right.
Pick one and go with it.
And you might be working on that puppy for the next 2 months. So it's not like do one today and another one the next day. It's you pick one and work the crap out of it. Do not stop. Do not go on to another project. You know, one of the things that Russell Brunson says is that don't pick one and keep working it until you've made $1 million with it. You are not allowed to move on to anything else until you have made $1 million with the funnel that you have created. And what a lot of people do is they say, oh man, I got this up to $10,000. So let me go make 10 more of these and I'll make $100,000. No, take the one that's making 10 and I can flat guarantee you that 99 times out of 100, you have not done nearly what you could do as far as maximizing the profitability of that funnel. Don't try and have 10 that are making 10. Have one that's making 100.
Yep.
So
plus that's easier logistically to deal with as well at the end of the day. That's a lot to juggle.
Right. So that would be my answer for Richard, exactly what I just said there. Figure out which funnel makes the absolute most sense for you to create based on the criteria that I drew out here for you, because that's what's going to also give you the confidence to move forward. When you're selling crap you don't know anything about, psychologically and spiritually and psychically and every other kind of ickically, you are not 100% behind it. There's always doubt. There's always fear. There's always this niggling little feeling of, are people going to figure out what's going on? Or it comes through that all you're trying to do is just make money. But when you've got these 3 pieces, that's when you can have your passion. That's when your enthusiasm, your energy, and your authenticity is going to come through. And that's what's going to make a huge difference for you.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Richard. We'll make a deal with you. Listen to this, follow up with us. And if you want a specific funnel walkthrough for maybe what your niche is, explain that in a follow-up response to us, and we will get on that for a future show.
Awesome. So for those of you who are not members of the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks group on Facebook, private group, you need to be. There are links all over the place, wherever they are, up, down, sideways, wherever they are. Go ahead and join that. Check out the JimEdwardsMethod.com. Check out funnel scripts. Check out all the cool tools that we have to make your life easier to help you get to the next level. So I'm Jim Edwards.
Stu Smith.
And we will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye, everybody.